today we are going to summarize what we read. So we will reread our story without stopping so much. Coyote, A Trickster Tale from the American Southwest by Gerald McDermott. So as we read, I want you to be thinking about who the characters are, what events happened, what the problem was, and how they solved the problem. Okay, those are the things that we're going to look for as we reread. Coyote, Blue Coyote, he was going along following his nose. He had a nose for trouble. Coyote stuck his nose into Badger's hole, but he got bitten. Coyote wanted to have a flaming red head like Woodpecker, but his fur caught fire. Coyote went looking for Snake, but only found trouble. Coyote was always in trouble. Yes, Kaden? Hit unmute, honey.
Did you record?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. You're the best. Coyote came to a place where earth meets sky. He heard laughing and singing. He went up to take a look. Coyote saw a flock of crows. They were chanting. They were dancing. Then the birds spread their wings. They flew through the air and circled the canyon. Oh, if only I could fly, said Coyote. I would be the greatest coyote in the whole world. Oh, I kind of made up my own words there. It doesn't say that. It says, I would be the greatest coyote in all the world. Same idea. Okay, but one of our questions was, why does Coyote want to fly? So let's go back and reread that because we didn't realize that we answered it. It says, oh, if only I could fly, I would be the greatest coyote in all the world. So Grant, that was your question, friends. Why does Coyote want to fly?
He would be the greatest coyote in the world, and he would tease all the coyotes in the world. Then they don't want to play with him because he's teasing.
Okay, so he thinks that he would be the best. Like, he's already a pretty cool coyote. But if he could fly, he would be the greatest coyote ever. Karis, what's up, honey?
But if he could fly, he wouldn't be a mammal.
You're so right. If he could fly, he wouldn't be a mammal. I can tell you're doing your Pebble Go research, and that makes me very, very proud. Coyote called to the crows. Let me join you, he said. This foolish coyote wants to be like us, Old Man Crow said to his flock. Let's have some fun with him. Old Man Crow turned one eye toward Coyote. You may dance with us, he said. Thank you, said Coyote, but I want to fly too. Maybe you can, said Old Man Crow. Yes, John?
Why is the coyote blue?
You know, that's something that we get to decide as readers, but we remember from yesterday that at the end of the story, he's no longer blue, and that's important. So you get to decide why he's blue at the beginning of the story. It doesn't tell us. Old Man Crow plucked a feather from his left wing. He told his flock to do the same. They stuck the feathers in Coyote. Coyote winced. His nose twitched. The crows chuckled. You are ready to fly, said Old Man Crow. Yes, Gavin?
Why does the coyote want to be the greatest coyote in the world?
That's also something we don't know. I think most people want to be pretty good, right? We want to be good and kind humans. So he wants to be a great coyote. But I don't know, that's something you get to decide as the reader. The birds began their slow, steady chant. They hopped from one foot to the other. Coyote joined in the dance. Even though he got out of step and sang out of tune, he was very proud of himself. The crows spread their wings and soared into the sky. Coyote followed. His flight was jerky. He tilted to one side. Since his feathers were only from the left wing of each bird, he was off balance. He fell to the ground. "Wait," he cried out. "Don't leave me behind." Yes, Brinley? We can't hear you, hun.
I have an idea why the coyote is blue at the beginning.
Why?
Maybe the coyote is blue because he's happy, and when he turns gray, he's sad.
Maybe. The birds returned and gathered round Coyote. "We must balance him," said Old Man Crow. Old Man Crow plucked a feather from his right wing. Each of his flock did the same. Coyote cringed as they stuck the feathers in his fur. The crows cackled. "Now I'm perfect," said Coyote. "I can fly as well as the rest of you." Coyote had become rude and boastful. He danced out of step. He sang off key. The crows were no longer having fun. The birds again began their slow, steady chant. Coyote hopped along, flapping his feathered legs and singing sour notes. The dancers spread their wings and leapt into the air. Soon the crows were flying high over the canyon. Coyote struggled to keep up. "Carry me," he demanded. The crows circled Coyote but didn't carry him. Instead, they took back their feathers one by one. Coyote sank through the air. He fell straight down. "Woo!" he howled. Coyote fell so fast his tail caught fire. He fell into a pool on the mesa. Coyote crawled out of the water. He heard laughter and saw the crows flying away. Coyote ran after them. He tripped and fell, tumbling in the dirt. Oh. Coyote went home soaked and covered with dust. To this day, he is the color of dust. To this day, his tail has a burnt black tip. To this day, Coyote still follows his nose. He has a nose for trouble. He always finds it. All right, so our goal today was that we were going to be able to retell our Coyote story. So I want you to think about who were the characters, the main characters in our story. John?
Coyote.
All right, so you think our main character was Coyote. I agree. Who else was a very important character in our story? Jackson?
The crows.
The crows, right. He wouldn't have tried to fly if the crows weren't part of our story. So they are an important part. The crows. All right, so we got our characters. What was our setting? Where were they in the story? They weren't in a house. They weren't at school. Where were they? Olivia? Oh.
The desert.
The desert. And we decided they were in the desert because we saw a cactus and it was really dry and dusty. All right, so we got our characters, we got our setting. What was the problem in the story? What was the problem? Grant?
That she was teasing the crows, and after that they got like glad, and they took off his head. And when his parent took it, he got sad and sad and mad.
Okay, he was teasing the crows, but I think we're missing an important part. I think Grant got us off to a good start. Who can add more? Brinley?
He became bad.
Okay. Who can add more? I think we're really close. John? Because why? What was the problem?
They took only red feathers the first time and white feathers the second.
Okay, so I think we can combine John's ideas about the feathers. Why did he need feathers, friends? Everybody unmute. Tell me, why did he need feathers?
Because he wanted to fly.
He wanted to fly. So he needed the feathers. Okay, everyone mute. Oh, hold on. I'm muting my friends who aren't muted.
Let's ask her. What's a mesa?
Miss Ann, what's a mesa?
It's something in the desert. That's a really good question, though.
Miss Ann.
All right. So the problem was that Coyote wanted to fly. Coyote wants to fly to be the best coyote ever, right? We found the answer to our question. So Coyote wants to fly, and coyotes don't fly. And because he wasn't being kind to the crows, what happens with the feathers once he is flying? What do? Knox? They took the feathers away. And he falls, right? The crows take the feathers away. Now, friends, this is kind of a different story because did Coyote solve his problem? At the end of the book, does he fly? No. Does he get to become the greatest coyote in all the world? No. I see a lot of friends shaking their head no. So this is kind of like a folk tale. And so some stories don't have happy endings like we decided. But it tells us a story about why the coyote is the way he is, why he's gray, why he has a burnt black tail. And